Beautiful music. I am sitting here and now, but you can ever appreciate that because you're watching this in your own time and in your own space. And quite frankly, what you see and hear are so limited that you can never ever grasp the full potential of anything. It's just as well anyway, because although your mind is unlimited, you can only grasp bits and pieces and never the entire spectrum. Did I lose you? Well, I didn't mean to lose you, but I do need you to be an observer and just follow me for a moment, okay? In the meantime, listen to this amazing music. You're watching this on something that was created by mankind. That thing was created simply to impart information, to impart what already is, correct? And it was also created so that we could keep in touch and stay in touch with our fellow mankind. I think that machine, that handheld computer, or that computer that you're watching this on, is one of the most important inventions ever. Through that iPad, telephone, or computer, you can access the world and any information you choose. Mankind is so brilliant, yet the truly smart ones are painfully aware of their own limitations. As observers, we can only observe. Are you still with me? Good. Use that screen that you're watching this on and Google the visible spectrum. Yes, please do. I can wait. That visible spectrum, that electromagnetic radiation, is 700 nanometers to 400 nanometers. Write it down, please. I'll get to my point in just a minute. Now, use that same computer you're using and Google the audio spectrum. Yes, please do. It's important. The audio spectrum, or what you can actually hear, the wavelengths of sound, frequencies audible to the human ear, is somewhere between 20 hertz and 20,000 hertz. Wavelength of audible sound, as it turns out, covers a very large range of scale. On the large end, you have low-frequency waves with wavelengths of up to 17 meters, 20 hertz, while the highest frequencies can be as small as 1.7 centimeter, 20,000 hertz. Amazing, isn't it? Write it down, because I'll get to the point in just a minute. From here on out, I would like you to use your imagination now, and consider the total spectrum. Not just what you can see and hear, but the total spectrum. Generally, electromagnetic radiation is classified by wavelength into radio waves, microwaves, terahertz, or sub-millimeter radiation, infrared, the visible region that is perceived as light, ultraviolet, X-rays, and gamma rays. Well, you get the idea. Everything on Earth is vibrating. Everything. Well, there it is. And that is just the spectrum that is measurable. Think about that. Some vibrations become visible, our bodies, for example. Some vibrations are sounds. Some vibrations are what we see. But what about what we cannot measure, what we cannot hear, we cannot see? What about those vibrations that are immeasurable? Love, for example. Feelings, thoughts. What about those? They are real too. We cannot measure love, but we do love. We cannot measure feelings, but every day we see the evidence of our feelings, and that cannot be denied. Our thoughts, we can measure how thoughts affect the brain, but we cannot really see a thought. We do think, however. With our imagination, we can begin to perceive what we cannot truly understand. Love, feelings, thoughts. Our imagination, you see, is the greatest faculty of our mind, and with our imagination, we can perceive, and we are inspired. With sound, there is music. Music that brings tears to our eyes, unexplainable. And with what we see in nature, the absolute beauty of nature, we are inspired to tears, that unexplainable beauty. Okay, so you have stayed with me until this time, and I do want to make a point. Are you ready? Here it is. My point is that universal intelligence that created it all billions of years ago, not just 2,000 years ago, not just 5,000 years ago. That unexplained universal intelligence that we call God. Are you ready for this? I have to read this. Seek not the law in your scriptures, for the law is life, whereas the scripture is dead. I tell you truthfully, Moses received not his laws from God in writing, but through the living word. The law is living word of a living God to living prophets for living men. In everything that is life is the law written. You find it in the grass, in the tree, in the river, in the mountain, in the birds, in the fishes, but seek it chiefly in yourself. For I tell you truly, all living things are nearer to God than the Scripture, which is without life. God so made life and all living things that they might, by the everlasting word, teach the laws of the true God to man. God wrote not the laws in the pages of books, but in the heart and spirit of mankind. They are in your breath. End quote. Do you know who said that? Supposedly, Jesus said that, but that was kept out of the Bible. We are inspired by so many different things. By music,